Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you again on a Friday. Apologies for a second video. I'm sure you've probably all had a bit enough of me really after this morning's depressing, shall we say, piece about last night's game. But look, this isn't about last night's game or the fallout of the Europa League or Arteta or Kroenke or anything like that. It's a little bit of transfer news that I have come across today, and I've published a story on Goal, and that story is below on the pinned comment, so please do click on that link, head over and give it a read. It's regarding Arsenal and interest in Ajax goalkeeper Andre Onana. So I thought I'd pop on here quickly, just go over some of the details, what I understand of the situation. And then, yeah, like I said, please do head over, click on that link below, and it'll take you to the full story. But yeah, Andre Onana, Ajax goalkeeper. I'm sure plenty of you know all about him. Obviously, been a very key player for Ajax in recent years in that fantastic run to the Champions League semi-final when they were so close before Tottenham lucked out and sneaked it right at the end and got through to the final. And Arsenal are interested in Onana, 25-year-old Cameroon international. Now, I'm sure plenty of you are aware of his story. He is currently banned, serving a 1-year suspension for failing a doping test. Now, that started in February, so at the moment he is not allowed to play until February 2022. And when I say not allowed to play, he's not even allowed to train. So at the moment he's training on his own, and he's got his own sort of personal goalkeeping coach he's working with. He's playing and training on some pitches of a local club in Amsterdam. He's not allowed anywhere near Ajax or anything like that. That's all part of the ban that's been handed down by UEFA for failing this doping test. Now, he has always denied this test. He admits he took the banned substance, which is, let me just quickly tell you what it is, furosemide or something like that. Sorry, pronunciation is probably all wrong. I'm sure all the chemists out there will jump on that. But he tested positive for this for an out of match test. And he has always said that he took it, but he thought it was just usual sort of paracetamol. It got mixed up. It was actually a prescription for his wife. It was his wife's prescription, and he thought it was just normal paracetamol because the packages were the same, and he took one of them, and that's why he's failed this doping test. Now, there is an appeal going on at the moment. It's in process. It's going to be heard by the Court of Arbitration for Sport in June, the first week of June, I understand. And the verdict from that appeal could be is expected to be announced sort of mid-June. Now, this is going to be key to Arsenal or any other club, and there are other clubs interested in him. I understand Borussia Dortmund, one of clubs from Germany who are interested. There's clubs in France as well. Clubs in Premier League have been interested. Chelsea were very close to going for him before they eventually went for Mendy last summer. Now, what's going to be key is this appeal. And the player and his representatives and the lawyers of Ajax believe they can get this ban reduced. It should be reduced to around possibly 8 months. Now, if it is reduced to 8 months, he will be able to play again in October. But importantly, he'll be able to start training with his team again 2 months before that, which would be in June. And that could potentially open up the prospect of a summer transfer. Now, he has only got 1 year left on his contract, so he's going to be a free agent in 2022. And so Ajax would be understandable if they would look to move him on this summer if a bid came in. Now, they know they're not going to be able to do that if this ban is upheld and he's not allowed to play again until February. But if it gets reduced, then they'll look to cash in on him this summer. They want, as far as I understand it, between about 10 and 15 million for Onana, but Arsenal and other interested parties believe they can get him for quite a little bit cheaper than that, between around the £6 to £8 million mark for him, given the fact he's only got a year left on his contract, and potentially he wouldn't even be able to play for the first sort of month or so of the season if this ban is reduced. Edu and Arteta are fan of his, as far as I'm aware. The interest went back to January. There was contact in January when Arsenal were looking for a goalkeeper, given Martinez's move to Aston Villa and Alex Runnelson's struggles after he came in to replace Martinez. Arsenal were looking for a goalkeeper in January. We know that. They ended up getting Matt Ryan on loan from Brighton until the end of the season because financially they couldn't do anything in terms of making a move permanent for Onana or anyone else they were interested in. We know they like David Raya as well at Brentford, so they ended up getting Ryan on loan until the end of the season because their whole January really was spent on getting players out, Ozil, Socrates, those sort of players, Kolasinac, Mustafi, and then getting a couple of loans in Ryan and Odegaard because they just didn't have the money to make anything permanent. So the interest in Onana goes back to then. There was contact then between the club officials and representatives of the goalkeeper to sound out the situation. It didn't happen, and the ban kicked in a month later, and now his future is very much up in the air. But Arsenal are interested, and if this ban does get reduced to 8 months or so, that would open up the possibility of a summer transfer, and that is where, as far as I understand it, Arsenal may well look to firm up that interest and actually make some sort of offer. There is interest in other goalkeepers as well. David Raya, the whole key to this is going to be what happens with Bernd Leno, obviously, as well. Is he going to stay? Is he going to move on? We heard from Leno fairly recently. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He says no talks have taken place about extending that contract yet. And he hinted that he could be open to a move away. We saw those quotes in that press conference. He said, "I'm very happy at the club. I don't know what will come in the future, but I'm open to everything, maybe for a new adventure or to stay at Arsenal. At the moment, I don't think about the future because there's 2 years left, and that is a long time. There are no conversations with the club." Now, there are reports out there that Bernd Leno has already informed Arsenal of his desire to leave this summer. I haven't had that confirmed or anything like that, so there's not much I can add to that. But if that is the case, then it would certainly make sense that Arsenal are exploring their options when it comes to making a permanent summer move for a goalkeeper. Now, David Raya is that player that they looked at last summer, couldn't get that deal done. Brentford having absolutely none of it. They value him about £20 million. Depends what happens with Brentford this season. Will they come up in the playoffs or not? Onana will certainly be cheaper than that. He's certainly got a lot more top flight experience than someone like David Raya, and that could be very appealing for Arsenal. He's a good age, 25, like I said, plenty of top flight experience, plenty of European experience as well as Cameroon international. Yes, the doping ban thing is obviously a big issue. I don't think that will stop clubs signing him or anything like that. He's made a mistake. He admitted he made a mistake. He's going to serve his ban one way or the other, either the full year of it or not, even if it's 8 months. Now, if it is reduced to 8 months, that's when I think Arsenal could well decide to firm up this interest, because it would be something that could be possible for this summer. Yes, he'd miss a bit at the start of the season, but potentially you got him playing again by October. Not too much of the season missed, maybe the first 6 weeks, something like that. If you've got a decent number two, potentially Matt Ryan, someone like that, if you make that move permanent in the summer as well, then he could comfortably cover for the first 6 weeks, and then him and Onana could battle it out to see who becomes the full number one. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal go back for David Raya as well. So plenty of stuff there for you to go on. Like I said, please do click on the link below. That will take you over to my story on the whole situation, which is online now at Goal. And you'll find all the details of it there. And yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you for watching once again. Apologies for spamming you with 2 videos. Like I said, apologies for that depressing one this morning as well. Just needed to get a few things off my chest on that one. Until then, everyone have a good day. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.